Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today on the mat for a 45-minute yoga practice. My name is Eloise Tamer. We're here at Chafee Fitness Center in Newport, Rhode Island. So today's class, if you have blocks, that would be terrific. And a mat. And we're going to do a lot of core and balance work today. Please feel free to put on some music if you'd like to do that. Let's start on our backs. So you're going to lay long ways. I'm going to lay this way just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to lay down, rest the head. Imprint your lower back. So knees are bent, heels are in line with your hips. You can kind of give them a little feel if you're not sure what that is. And then we'll gently place the lower back on the mat. Shavasana, arms, palms are up. And imprint your lower back. Then take your feet as wide as the mat. Bring the inside of the knees to touch. And we imprint here. So it's a tiny little tucking of the tailbone. Shoulders are connected. Gaze is to the ceiling. Or you can keep eyes closed. Just gently waking our lower back up. Settling into your Ujjayi breathing. It's an inhale, exhale through the nose. So while we're here settling into breath, right, you can place your hands on your rib cage. On the inhale, the belly will inflate. On the exhale, we knit the ribs together, drawing navel to spine. Right, so activate your diaphragm, your breathing muscle, right? Your diaphragm sits inside your rib cage, or it's attached to your rib cage. We'll do one more round. And then bring the arms back to Shavasana arms. Release that imprint. Come back to the natural curve of your spine. And windshield wiper the legs over to the left. Try to keep the gaze to the ceiling and the eyes closed. Then take the legs over to the right. And then find your rhythm of windshield wiping the legs back and forth. Four more. 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center. Line the heels up again with your hips. Keep that neutral spine. Extend the right leg up in the air. And then you can hold on to the hamstrings, back of the thigh, or your calf muscles below the knee. We try not to pull on behind the knee. If you need a little lift with the head, you can put a block or a pillow underneath your head. Flex the toes or keep them neutral. Just finding a nice little hamstring stretch. And then we'll switch sides, right? So connect that right foot. Try to stay with your neutral spine. We'll hold on to the back of the hamstrings. Now we're just warming up here. So you don't have to pull on this or bounce it. You're just gently coming into the hamstrings. Okay. Toes are neutral or flexed. If you have sciatic issues, I would just keep the toes neutral. And then we'll bend that left leg. Bring the left leg back. Pause for a moment. Again, if you want to rest the hands on the rib cage to come back to your breath, and we'll set our intention for our practice. Very simple. Right, we're going to think about our balance today. We're going to think about our core. Thinking about finding balance in our lives. Because things get wobbly. So what do you do when things get wobbly? Right. And it's okay. It's okay to be wobbly. It's okay to fall out of poses. Right. So if you're supporting your head, let's take that block or pillow out. Gently bring the head back to the mat. Find your way over to your right side. Right. We're going to press up. Come right into tabletop. Knees under the hips. We do this every class because I like it. I think it's really good for the spine. Wrists under the shoulders. Find this neutral place. Then we'll tuck the tail around the back, tuck the chin, press into the floor of the mat. For your cat, your inhale takes you to a neutral spine, or you can drop the belly in an anterior tilt and look forward. And we pause here. And then find 3 more rounds in your breath. Right, so just remember, on that exhale, we're coming into that cat. On the inhale, it's a neutral spine or a cow. We have 1 more round. And then we'll meet in that neutral place. Tuck your toe, walk your wrists out just in front of the shoulders. Right? Reese Chris faces is parallel with the top of the mat. Engage the heel of the hands, the knuckles, the fingertips. Arms are strong. And we'll lift the hips up, come into this little V shape. Ears between the arms. Feet are about hip distance apart. Bend both knees. Heels are lifted. Bend both knees. And then on your inhale, extend the legs as much as you can. Right? We're hugging the elbows towards one another, connecting the hands to the mat. Exhale again, bend the knees. The inhale, we lengthen as much as you can. Waking up the hamstrings, we have 2 more rounds. We bend on the exhale, extend on the inhale, 1 more. And we'll meet there with the legs extended. I like to keep my knees a little bit bent because you don't want to be rounded in the back. Right? And then we'll play here, we'll walk our dog. Bending one knee as you draw the opposite heel. Waking up the calves. We have 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend both knees. On your exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Come into this fold. Keep the knees bent, right? And just pause here. So if you can't get your hands to the mat, find some blocks or put them on something, or just rest them on the legs, right? See if you can get your gaze between your knees. Lift the inner arches of your feet. Hold on to opposite forearms and find ragdoll. So you can pause here in the ragdoll, or you can sway side to side. One more time on each side, and then we'll come back to center. Release your hands. Fingertips in front of the toes. Inhale, come to your halfway lift and pause there. So our gaze is down. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another. You still have a very neutral spine, right? Fingers rest where they land. The exhale, soften the knees maybe and come into your fold. Inhale, fill it up, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. 1 more time. Inhale to your halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, let's rise. Rise up. Take the arms up. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Gaze is forward. I'm going to turn sideways. Right? Find that little pelvic tilt. Connect those muscles between the hips. Rotate your palms out. Gaze is forward. And come back to your breath. Lift your toes and find that triangle of support. Space below the big toe, the little toe, and the center of our heel, or our heel. So that's going to help you in all your balance poses today. That's your triangle of support. So we'll bring the toes down. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back to your high plank. And then come down onto the knees. We connect the left wrist under the shoulder. Take the right toes out. Rotate that right hip towards the mat. Find that little posterior tilt. Tuck the tailbone. Lift your right toes. Right? The right toes are just coming off the ground a little bit. I'm sorry, we're going to connect the right wrist, not the left wrist. And then the left arm is going to come forward. And here we are. Right? We're going to pause here. Pull that belly button to spine. Start to turn that core on. Right? If you're wobbly, just take your toes back to the mat and reset. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come on down. Let's switch sides. Extend the left leg, find that little rotation, posterior tilt, just a little bit of a round back there. Reach the right arm forward, and then the left toes come off, and we engage the left butt cheeks, right? Those glute muscles. Pull the belly button to spine on that exhale, just like we were doing on the floor, right? Come back to that good breathing. Big breath, right? We have 2 more. On the next exhale, everything comes down, right? Walk your hands out, tuck the toes, come into your down dog. 3 rounds of breath. Right, and on that third exhale, bend the knees, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale to your halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, maybe a little standing back bend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the palms. We step back to this high plank where we pause. So this is our plank. Now listen, you can come down onto the top of the knee. Right above the knees, right? You can do that, or you can also be on your forearms. Right? So press the mat away, press into the hands of the forearms, spread the shoulder blades, squeeze the glutes, the butt, flex the front of the legs. Now, if you're going to lower in full plank, shift a little forward, elbows to the back of the mat. As you lower down, flatten the top of the feet, tuck the chin, and come into your cobra. So elbows go to the back of the mat. You're trying to drag the heel of your hands to the back of the mat. Keep the chin tucked, keep the neck neutral, right? Hips stay grounded. Exhale, bring the forehead to the mat. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale, forehead to mat. One more time. Fill it up, fill it up, fill it up on that inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Pause here. And then on your next exhale, we come into our child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, come into your down dog. 3 rounds of breath. So a round of breath is an inhale and an exhale. When you get to that third exhale, that's when you travel to the top of the mat. We have 1 more round. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Come on up nice and strong. Draw that energy from your mat, from the earth. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back to your plank, right? And then we lower in half or full. The inhale, you come into your cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, press the mat away as you come into your down dog. Inhale, take the right toes up. So I promise lots of core work here. 4 knees to nose. Exhale, find that high plank, draw the knee in. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, high plank, knee in. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring that knee in. Last one. Right, well, meet in that 3-legged dog. Bend the knee and open the hip. So you're just starting to stack the right hip on top of the left. Left heel stays behind your left toes. Arms are nice and strong. And then we'll exhale, rotate that right hip back towards the mat. Bring the right foot down, connect, find that stability. And then inhale, take the left toes up. And then it's exhale, high plank, knee to nose. You can find a little C back here. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale. Bring that knee in. 1, 2 more. Last one. And then we'll meet in that three-legged dog with the left leg up. Flex the foot, bend the knee, and start to stack the left hip on top of the right. Arms are nice and strong. On your next exhale, let's rotate that left hip towards the mat. Gently bring the left toes down mindfully. Bend the knees, and on your exhale, travel to the top of your mat. The inhale, we come to our halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Come on up. And bring your hands to heart center. So connecting our right foot. Coming into our tree pose. So you can kickstand. You can take but don't jam it, right? Like don't come up here and then lift the hip higher. Go to the place where your body's telling you, right? Because you want to keep that, find that little pelvic tilt, right? That right foot is our source of support right now. And the arms come up. Open them up. And then we'll come down back to our mountain. Find that stability in that left leg. Posterior tilt. Engage all those muscles. Shift the weight into your left foot and then bring the right foot up. Hands are at heart center. That's grounding. Hands at hips. You take that, you can kickstand the leg if you want to. Right, but we're trying to keep the shoulders over the hips. Arms can come up. Gaze is forward. Come back to your breath. Right, your rectus abdominis, your six-pack is helping you stand up right now. One more round of breath, and then we'll come back to our mountain pose. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back to your plank. And then step the left foot in. Left knee under the hip. Step the right foot in. Find your bear crawl. Then step the left leg back. Step the right leg back. Here you are in plank again. Left leg forward. Left knee under the hip. Right knee comes under. Shins are parallel. Step the left foot back. Step the right foot back. We have 2 more. Right? You don't have to do this. You can just stay in your plank. You can go to child's pose. We have 1 more. And the left foot goes back. The right foot goes back. We shift forward. We lower in half or full plank. Inhale to your cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. Come into your down dog. Inhale, take the right toes up. And let's bring it through. Right through. Inhale, rise. And come into your crescent warrior. Right? So we rotate that left hip. I like to turn my left butt cheek on. Those glutes, maybe bend that left knee. And reach the arms up. Exclamation marks with those fingers. Right? Arms frame the ears. And if your arms are here, who cares? Right? We're working to get them to frame the ears. Maybe you're super tight or you have an injury. Right? So you go where your body's going to let you go. Right? On your exhale, bring your hands down in front of your right toes. Take the left leg off the mat. As your gaze goes to the right knee, rotate that left hip towards the mat and come into your standing split. So you can have hands on blocks, right? And even if they have to be really far. Because if you're really tight, and I've seen it in class before, people are up on the ball of your foot. So I would like you to have the whole foot connected. Even if that means you have to take your blocks way out, okay? Let's get that knee can be soft in that right leg, or right leg can be extended. Then we're going to soften that right knee. Float the left toes back. Come into your runner's lunge. Left wrist comes under the left shoulder as we find our twist. So the right fingertips are up in the air, right? The pelvic floor, we're sinking the hips towards the mat. You can also put down on that left knee if you want to. And then we'll take the right hand back down to frame the right foot. Take the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale to your halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back. We're just going to do our plank here. We'll just plank. Shift forward, lower, and half a fold. The inhale, we fill it up to cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, come into your down dog. Inhale, take the left toes up, three-legged dog. We bring it forward for our crescent warrior, and we rise up. And we pause here. So pausing, squaring the hip, maybe softening that back knee. Arms come up. Gaze is forward. On your next exhale, bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Again, blocks if you want them. Blocks are great. See if you can get your gaze to your left knee as opposed to looking at your toes. Square the right hip. Rotate the right hip towards the mat. Make that right leg active. Two more rounds of breath. And on that second exhale, we'll soften that left knee as we float the right toes to the back. Put that right wrist under the right shoulder as you inhale, the left fingertips up. You come right into a runner's lunge with a twist. Keep your breath. Focus on that breath. Focus on that intention. On your next exhale, the left hand comes down to frame the right foot. Take that right foot up to meet the left. Inhale to your halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise. Rise up. Bring your hands to heart center. And let's find our tree pose again. So connect your right foot. The left foot comes up. So hip points. Level. You don't want this one jacked up. Right? Find that little posterior tilt. And then you do what you want with your arms. We're going to get a little bigger in our tree. And if you're rock solid, close your eyes. Close those eyes. Right? It's okay to fall out. Right? We get wobbly during the day. Things don't always go our way. Right? It's our reaction to falling out. Falling out of a pose, having a wobbly day, having a wobbly moment. Right? And then we'll bring our hands to heart center. Bring that left knee in front. Right? So the left knee is lifted up. And then we're going to take that left knee, float it back, come into our airplane pose. See, I just fell out of it, right? So the chin is slightly tucked, or you can look forward, reaching the hands behind, right? Airplane. Another balance move. And then we'll inhale, bring it back up, draw that left knee up. I know we're almost done. Arms come up to frame the ears, find that posterior tilt. Let's extend the left leg. Right, so it doesn't matter how high you lift the left leg. I would rather your leg be here than do this. Like people lean back to get it higher. You're dumping into your lower back. You're losing that core connection. So you lift that left leg as high as it goes. And then we'll re-bend the left knee, bend the right knee, float or step back to your crescent warrior and come into your crescent warrior pose. Open up to your warrior two. Right, nice to have both feet on the ground for a little while. So we're in our warrior two. We're engaging the outer arches of our feet. We're coming into that triangle of support. Right, you lift your inner arches. Rotate both palms. As you extend that right leg, Bring your hands together. Your gaze goes in the direction of your heart. Exhale, we float back to our warrior two. The inhale, we extend and connect the hands. 2 more times. You can follow me or you can follow your own breath. Last one. Let's meet in this warrior two. Rotate the palms back down because we're going to go into half moon. We did this last week, so we're going to work on it. Again, you go against a wall. Please find a wall if you're wobbly. I use a block. I take the block to the outside with the right foot. My right heel stays behind my right toes, but we want to make sure that right knee shines forward. Lift your left leg. Your right wrist is under your right shoulder as much as possible. Start to stack the left hips, flexing the left toes, trying to tee the arms up. And then your gaze is the last thing. Follows the heart, follows the chest. Try to lift that left leg, lift it up, lift it up. Reach that left hand, open the heart. 2 more rounds of breath. And then we'll soften, soften, soften that right knee. And you float back to your warrior two. Or you step back. Whatever you're comfortable with. Then we'll rotate the hands. To frame the front foot, pivot on the back toes. In your runner's lunge. Take that left foot to meet the right. Inhale halfway. Fold. And then we rise on the inhale. Rise up. Bring the hands to heart center. Connect your left foot. Find that posterior tilt. This is our bigger tree. We're going to get bigger in it. So what that means is maybe you're going to lift your foot a little higher. Maybe you're going to close your eyes. Maybe your arms are going to come up instead of being at your heart center. Find something that's going to grow this pose. Find something that's going to make you wobbly, right? And if you're rock solid, then close your eyes because you will fall out of it, right? So if you fall out of it, you just come right back to it. Two more rounds of breath, right? And then we'll bring the hands down, right? Take that right knee up for just a moment, soften that left knee, and we come into our airplane pose, right? So it's a little back bend, so that right hip is rotated in line with the left. Tuck the chin if you want, palms down. You can do an arm bind if you want to. I'm just going to reach my right fingertips towards the back of my mat. On your next inhale, we'll bring the shoulders over the hips. Draw that right knee up. Find that posterior tilt. Arms frame the ears as we find this victory pose. So again, right, we engage our core, right? Don't clench extend those left toes. Lift the inner arches. Find your balance. Rebend that right knee. Soften the left. Tuck the chin. You step or float back to your crescent warrior. And pause here. Again, our arms come back. And we don't want to scrunch the shoulders, right? So keep the shoulders in their pockets. Open up into your warrior two. Hips are over the shoulders. You look down, you can see the inside of that left foot. We're going to rotate both palms up. On your inhale, lengthen that front leg. Switch your gaze, eyes follow heart, and bring your hands together. And we have 3 more rounds. Exhale, come float back to your warrior two. Inhale, come on up. Exhale into warrior two. Inhale, come on. 1 more. We'll pause on this warrior two. Rotate the palms down. This is our half moon. So think about where you're going, right? I shifted my block over here. Block at level 1 or level 2 or level 3. I like to take it outside the left foot. Don't let that left heel rotate in. Right? We extend the left leg, lift the right leg, flex those right toes, tee the arms up if you can, shift your gaze. Please use the wall if you're feeling loosey-goosey today. Right, we have 3 more rounds of breath. Reach that leg up, reach those fingertips of the right hand. On your 3rd exhale, we soften that left knee. We float, float, float. Back to our warrior 2, reset. Cartwheel the arms down to frame the front foot, come into your runner's lunge. And take your right foot up to meet the left. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up. Bring your hands together in prayer to your heart center. So we come into our chair pose, but we're wide-legged. Right? So feet about hip distance apart. I'm going to sit down in this chair. So don't do this. This is a big anterior tilt. Find that little posterior tilt so you have a neutral spine. You sit back. Right? Bring your hands to heart center. Shift the weight into your right foot, and then take that left leg and wrap it around. So we're going into eagle. So the left leg wraps around. We keep that right knee over the right ankle. Squeeze the left thigh, squeeze your inner thighs together. The left arm comes under for a hug, a half bind, right elbow and left elbow crease back of the hands, or full expression, right? You bring the whole hand. I don't like that term. I take that back. It's not the full expression. This is, anything's the full expression. You go to your variation of eagle arms. Then maybe lift the left toes off. Right, we're sitting back, we're squeezing the inner thighs together. You're keeping that right knee. Don't push that right knee over. On your exhale, we'll round into this little ball, elbows in front of the knee. Inhale, rise up. Let's do 2 more. Exhale and fold. Inhale and rise. Last one. We'll pause here. Unwind the arms, unwind the legs, and find your warrior 3. Right. So a little different than our airplane pose. Right, I'm using blocks. Right, we're teeing the body up, our gaze is down. If you're on blocks, play with maybe taking your hands off. Now, if you don't want to use the blocks, you can come hands to heart center, tee the arms up, or sweep the arms forward. That'll make your levers very long. That's the hardest one. One more round of breath, and then we'll take that left foot to meet the right. Inhale, come to that halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up. Rise up. Feet are still hip distance apart. We'll exhale, come into this chair pose. So find your chair, wide-legged. Right, we lift our inner arches. Find that nice little neutral spine. Shift the weight into your left foot. I promise, lots of balance work. Right, so we wrap the right leg around. Maybe kickstand. Find the kickstand with the right toes. Set it up. Then the right arm comes under for a hug. Half bind, full bind with the arms. Whatever works for you and your shoulders today. Right, and then play with taking the right toes off. Keeping those inner thighs engaged. Right, and then on your exhale, tucking the chin, take the elbows in front of the knees. The inhale, we rise up. 2 more. Inhale to rise. This is our last round. We're gonna pause here in this little half ball. Unwind your right leg. Take it behind you, and you can unwind the arms. Hands are on blocks. You can tee up the arms. You can reach the arms forward. Anything you want to do with your Warrior 3 today. Tuck the chin, gazes straight down. Right? Please try not to elevate the shoulders. They stay in their pockets for 2 more rounds of breath. Right, on that second exhale, take that right foot to meet the left. Take both hands onto the thighs. We rise up to stand. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, let's fold. Keep the knees soft, let the head get heavy. Top of the head is parallel with the mat. And then this is a sweep, elephant trunk. We're just sweeping the fingertips. And you know, maybe your hands don't reach the mat. It's okay. And just do it like this. One more on each side. And then we'll come back to center. The inhale finds that halfway lift. The exhale will bend the knees. Bring the hands down, bend, so bring your hips to heels. Your fingertips are supporting you, right? And then we're gonna find our way onto our backs, okay? So a little core work, and then we're gonna be finishing up. So my variation of bow pose, you are sitting on your ischial tuberosities. Those are your butt bones, right? Your sits bones, as we call them in yoga, but the anatomical term is ischial tuberosities. So you do not want to be rolled back on your sacrum. We sit up nice and tall. You have a block or a pillow handy. Sit up nice and tall. Find that neutral spine. Hold on to the back of your hamstrings and then lower down. Right, so we lower back. Now you can just stay here. This might be like this is enough, right? If you want to find that rotation, find the block, put it between your hands, and then we take the block by the side. But you're sitting up nice and tall. Please no rounding, all right? This is very sad. This is terrible for our backs. Now, if this is not speaking to you, and this is bothering your lower back, lay on the ground. And you can just reach from side to side, okay? There's always something we can do. If you are in this pose and you would like to lift your heels off the ground, if you can stay on your ischials and not roll back onto the sacrum, then that's okay. This is gonna make it, yes, a little bit more challenging. Find your breath. Gaze can follow if you want it to. 4 more, so that's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your heels down if they're elevated. Block over to the side. Hold onto your hamstrings, tuck your chin, and roll back onto your backs. Still have the block with us. So resting the head, or the head can rest on a block or a pillow. The little cue for that is if you lay down and your chin is like this, and your chin's higher than your forehead, it just means that you have very tight neck and shoulder muscles. You do yourself a favor to support the head if that's what's going on, okay? Don't hang out there like that. That's awful. It doesn't feel good, right? So just pat the head. So from here, what I would like to do, you can keep the legs extended or the legs can be bent. We take the block in the right hand, right? Imprint your lower back. Bring your legs down, right? Lower back is still connected. You're gonna drop that right leg and right arm and then bring it back to this point. Keep that lower back engaged the whole time. Right, and then you can take the block right over the shoulder, right? But we don't bring this leg all the way up because then we lose our core connection, right? So we'll do 5 more. Right, keep that lower back connected. Exhale as you bring it back up for 3. 3 to go. Last 1. Bend the knees. And then we go over to the other side. So we take the left arm up. Now if you want to keep the legs extended, or knees are slightly bent, lower down. That's where we start and stop, right? So you can bend that left knee and take the heel down and bring it up like that. That's up to you. We're gonna do 10 reps, right? So you exhale as you bring it up. Inhale, take it down, down, down. Keep that lower back connected, right? We're already halfway there. On that exhale, pull that belly button to spine for 5, 4, 3 more. You've got this. 2, last 1, and then bend the knees. Take the block over to the side. Rock it side to side. I'm going to do something a little different today. So I'm going to offer you some options, all right? We're going to come back onto the knees, so roll over. If you have ouchy knees, I'm going to show you a variation, right? But I like this. This is really nice for the quads and the hip flexor muscles. And you can take your blocks by the side. Now we're not going into camel. We're not finding a back bend. We're going to keep our plank, shoulders, hips, and knees, and you're just going to come back and lean back. And then just get a nice little stretch in the front of the legs. Now, if this doesn't speak to you because of your knees, just lay on the ground. Right? But if you like it on your knees, stay there. And then if that doesn't speak to you, you can just lay out, extend the legs, extend the arms, and come into a little bit of a shavasana. And then hug one knee in, extend the leg, and then hug the other leg in. So those are your 2 options, right? Or don't do anything. If you don't like either one of those options, go to child's pose. I choose not to have any of those choices. So if you're here, I know it's a lot. So we're gonna come up, right? If you're on your back, just keep alternating. We're gonna come back up, we're gonna reset, right? Find that posterior tilt, little tuck the tail, and then sink back again. Gazes forward. You can open the shoulders. Right, if you don't have blocks, you can put your hands at the small of your back. But mind you, again, we're not in camel. We did not prep for that pose today. Right? On your next exhale, if you're on your knees, come back. If you're on the floor, stay there. Because that's where we're going to close our practice. Right, so if you were just doing the opposite, that's great. So we'll meet with, everyone will bend their knees. We're again going to close the practice like we started it. Bring the inside of the knees to touch. Feet are wide as your mat, shavasana arms. And we'll windshield wiper the legs back and forth. When you find yourself with the knees to the left, please pause there. And then we'll take the left foot on top of the right. And it's just, so we're not jamming that right knee down, right? You're just guiding it. If this is too much on your hips or your lower back, just take the foot off, please. Right? That's just an add-on. My rule for yoga is when the body says stop, that's where you stop. It's so easy to get caught up and want to get, we all want to get bigger on our poses. We have to listen to when your body's like, I don't want to rotate my hip anymore. Or I don't want you adding your leg onto my thigh. It's too much. Listen, right? So we'll take that left foot off if it was there. Come back to center, bring the inside of the knees to touch, take the feet wide. And then we just drop over to the other side and hang out. Please keep the shoulders connected as much as possible. Gaze is up, or the gaze can go to the left hand. And then if you would like to take the right foot on top of the left. So again, with this, if you are if you are viewing these videos and you're enjoying them, contact me. If there's anything you want to work on, I'm happy to throw it in the mix. I love requests. And if you are active duty, I think that in March of 2021, March or April, I think we're going to start live classes again, very limited, masks on in the Group X room at Chafee. So release that left leg with the right foot, come back to center. Bring the inside of the knees to touch. Lift the inner arches and let's imprint that lower back. Gently place the lower back on the mat. Support the head if your chin is higher than your forehead. 3 rounds of breath. On that third exhale, we'll gently hug the legs in. Roll over to your right side. Press into the left hand. Come to your seat. Sitting in easy pose, whatever's comfortable for you. Hands come to heart center in prayer mudra, which is joining the palms together. As we take the thumbs up to our third eye chakra, it's the space in the middle of our forehead. Finding our bow of gratitude as we say, Namaste. Thank you all so much. So every week is going to be a different practice, and I'll always announce at the beginning of the practice what it is. Have a great week.